All right, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over the first step during a sprint. And the big thing that I started to realize within that first step is that if we think about the pelvis and where the pelvis is and what we're trying to do when we're exposing out that first step, and you're going from that anterior pelvic tilt, right? So this is more with the anterior, where the back of the pelvis is facing up and the front of it's facing down, and then the posterior tilt is when you go the opposite way. So now the anterior part of your pelvis is more upwards, the posterior part is more downwards. And so what you want to do when you're getting yourself loaded up is you really want to get yourself into that anterior position. So you should really feel that your pelvis is ducking underneath like that, and then that makes it so now when you explode, you could really get into that posterior tilt within the pelvis. And that's one of the things that I started realizing, consumed with where the position of your spine needs to be and making sure that it stays low and gets a good extension. And that is important, but I think that that is secondary to making sure that you get enough range of motion through the pelvis to be able to control anterior pelvis rotation and getting the most out of your posterior pelvic tilt. All right, so making sure that you can get total rotation into that posterior tilt. Okay, so I figured that the best way for me to be able to show this to you would be through some type of visual here. So on the left is when I actually did the sprint, right after making the video, and then on the right is Christian Coleman here. I always like to show his start just because he has one of the best starts in the world, and I think that's really the best way to be able to really understand what it is that I'm saying. But really look at, and he's even in a better position where he has that better range of motion in the pelvis to make it so he's really in that anterior pelvic tilt to make it so his back is really flat. I'm not able to get my pelvis into that much anterior pelvic tilt, so my back is a little bit more rounded. But you can see when the initial movement happens, there's like a drop of the hips, and then you really want to be able to get your pelvis into that posterior position so then you could drive through with the hips. And we can see it here with Coleman too. See how he drops those hips down, and he's really able to get that posterior tilt within the pelvis. Again, he's able to do a little bit more effectively than I am. He also is able to raise his head up a little bit better. And even watching the comparison between me and him, it seems like something that I could probably do more of is getting my head up a little bit more to really make sure that I can get my hips all the way through, because my position right here, because my head's so low, it's making it so I don't have the ability to get my hips as far forward. So if I can get my head up, my spine up a little bit more, I can get more of my hips into the actual movement, where you can see Christian Coleman gets his hips all the way through, head all the way through, and then gets that full extension within that back leg as he's pushing off. All right, so just to give you guys a little bit more information about how to get the most effective start, I think this is just going to be another effective video in helping you to be able to achieve that. All right, if you guys have any questions, let me know. As always, we have different free material down below in the description, where we have like a 7-day free trial. We also have 5 ways to improve your speed. We also have like a speed ebook. So anything that we can do to help you out, we want to be able to do that for you. Also, you can check out some of our breakdown Zoom sessions, things like that. I think those are very beneficial to get some one-on-one coaching from me to make it so you can help in improving your speed. All right, talk to you soon.